The following excerpt is from Dr. Peter S. Carmichael's book, Lee's Young Artillerist, William R. J. Pegram, referenced the Battle of the Crater and Lieutenant Colonel Willy Pegram's role and guns. As the Army's morale was thus tested, little rain, extreme temperatures, the constant threat of sharpshooters' bullets, and sheer boredom made life miserable in the front lines during the summer of 1864. To relieve the tedium, some members of the 48th Pennsylvania Infantry tunneled more than 500 feet to get beneath the Confederate line at Pegram's salient. 2 South Carolina regiments and a Virginia battery commanded by Richard Pegram, one of Willy's cousins, unknowingly sat atop 8,000 pounds of gunpowder. At 4:45 a.m. on July 30, a sudden cataclysm shook the earth. In wake of the explosion, a hole some 170 feet long, 60 to 80 feet wide, and 30 feet deep stood in place of Pegram's salient. Lee's line had been breached. Lee immediately rushed units from other portions of the line to the threatened point. Alerted to the crisis by A.P. Hill at 7 in the morning, Pegram ordered the Purcell and Letcher artillery through the streets of Petersburg at a sharp trot, halting his batteries at General Bushrod Johnson's headquarters. Spurring his horse down the Jerusalem Plank Road, Pegram decided to conduct his own reconnaissance. Captain William Gordon McCabe writes, "Colonel Pegram returned in a few minutes, and as on account of the severe fire sweeping the Plank Road we could not move the guns up that road, we went back toward town until we reached the ravine. We pulled our guns along the ravine until we reached the reservoir. We went up the ravine along the course of Lieutenant Run to a point near the bridge on New Road, present-day Graham Road, which road being commanded by the enemy's guns, we had to ascend the hill to the north of this road. The hill is very steep there. We left our caissons in the ravine at the foot of the reservoir, doubled teams on the guns and pulled them square up this almost perpendicular hill. It was the steepest pull I ever saw during the war. We then moved forward and came into battery about 50 yards in the rear of the right of the G house. Pegram instructed his artillerists to hold their fire unless the enemy attempted to reinforce the troops in the crater or rushed Cemetery Hill. Pegram and McCabe ran into the G house, climbed upstairs, and peeped through the bullet-ridden walls to get a better view of the field. For a good distance in the trenches, he wrote, the Yankees, white and black, principally the later, were piled 2 or 3 or 4 deep. Major General William Mahone launched a counterattack which pushed the Federals back to the crater, and by 1 in the afternoon, Mahone's division had recaptured the main line of works. Although Pegram's batteries received scattered shelling and small arms fire, he never brought his guns into action. Pegram wrote, an enemy bullet plucked his hat just over the place where I was wounded at Sharpsburg. Through the merciful kindness of an all and ever merciful God, July 30th was a very brilliant day to us. This included his cousin Richard being off the line when the explosion occurred, thus saving his life. Think about Pegram's guns being pulled along the Lieutenant Run Ravine and up the sharp hill to the east as you travel along Interstate 95 just before the Interstate 85 interchange. Please visit our website at petebattlefields.org for information on tours, events, and to donate. Be sure to subscribe for more videos.